What's up, everybody? I'm mixing and I'm trying out the UA Luna again. It's been a little while since I've got into Luna. I recorded the song in Logic, consolidated all the tracks, exported the multi-tracks, dropped them into Luna, and now I'm mixing it. And it sounds great. It's awesome. A couple of the fun things about it is you can, this is the main window here where all the tracks are, just like any other DAW. You've got access to all the main features that you would have in any other DAW here. And then I like to work in the mixer view here. So for instance, all the drums in these first groups of tracks, the drums are being processed slightly, and then the outputs are going to the drum bus, which is the green one here. And this drum bus just has the Neve emulation with the low impedance, which makes it really fat sounding, and then the ATR 102 tape, which you can access the controls of over here. And same with the Neve summing, you can access the controls of the Neve summing right here. And so that's the drums, and the drums just have a little bit of processing, SSL on the snare for gate, a little compression, and some EQ. A Neve on the kick drum to give it a little fatness and saturation. And then on one of the overheads was a little unruly, so I just used the good old 550 or 560, excuse me, 560 EQ, just to roll out some of the gnarliness, and all that sums to this drum bus here. And then the bass, what's really sweet is I recorded the bass with a DI box, put that through the UAD Ampeg SVT plugin, which I love, and then that also can go through this oxide tape saturation, give a little extra something there. And honestly, with those two, it didn't need anything else. That's all I used on the bass. Keys were interesting. I sent the keys out, so it's like a subgroup to the keys bus here. And then the keys bus has the Neve summing for presence and just a little fatness and warmth, the ATR 102 tape. And then I was able to use the API Vision channel to give it a little, what did I do? I think I did a little compression and some EQ. And it was interesting because the keys were nice, but I rolled off some lows and then I lost some presence and volume. So I just gave it a little summing magic and it kind of just set it right in the mix. That's the thing that's hard to explain about using this, is it really does just find a place for things in the mix. So then I went and did a bunch of vocal stuff. Not a bunch, some vocal stuff. Basically, I just took the main vocal. I added oxide tape on there, which is this thing here. Little bit of saturation, API Vision channel strip, just for a little compression and EQ and high pass filter. Then, of course, Fab Filter, Pro Q. I always use that on vocals to find the little areas I want to notch out. Just a couple of areas, 338 and 1560. So those resonances are gone. And then I felt like it wanted to just kind of be controlled a little bit more. And so I actually smacked it pretty good with this 1176 blue stripe. And that's it for the vocal, but then that goes off to this vocal track, which has Neve summing and the ATR 102. And then that also goes off to this vocal room track, which has Neve summing and ATR 102 and the Ocean Way. And the Ocean Way room simulation gives me all three mics. I turned all three on. So I've got a little width here too, because it's just one vocal on this whole track. So I needed a little width out of the vocal, and that's what this one gave me. Without that one, it sounded a little too just small. So that made it a little wider and gave it a nice presence. And then after the room, just a nice verb. Normally I'll use like a Altiverb or something, but for this I'm using the API sum, the ATR 102, and then the pure plate. Pure plate had a nice tone, little pre-delay on there, back down the length of it quite a bit, so it's a little more subtle, and man, it sounds really good. It's a good reverb. And then the main output, I went with the API summing. You can choose API or Neve summing, and I went between the two, and the API had just a clearer, more punchier kind of tone to it. And I'm not even boosting anything in there, not adding saturation more than what was just in the default setting. It just kind of it really does give it a nice warm, that term warmth is funny, but it gives it a nice presence. And the ATR 102, so there's a whole bunch of those on here. And that's all I have on the master channel, which is crazy because usually I have like a compressor, maybe an EQ, a few other things on the master bus. But something about using all of this tape and console summing gives everything a real nice warmth and presence and kind of a depth. So I don't find myself using as many plugins. It's pretty interesting stuff. So that's what we got going on with this mix. And here's a little bit of, I'll play a little bit of it. This isn't released yet, so. And it's on the phone, so.
I heard you say my name last night. You swore you moved your precious mind. Your words, they cut me like a knife. Statistics of affliction, my mind. And it's a game.
This is crazy. You can bypass all processing with one button. My phone is picking up this audio right now, so I know this sucks, but check it out. Here it is with all the processing, then I'm going to turn it off and back on.
I heard you say my name last night. You swore you moved your precious mind. Your words, they cut me like a knife.
Kick drum.
Statistics of affliction, mind the mind. And it's a game play, back and forth all day, cutting my self-esteem, breaking at every seam. But I don't care what they say. You can go all
Toms.
day. I don't care what they say. We go about our way. You try. People listen, you make me cry.
It's crazy. The drums are just like come alive. The vocals have, I mean, it sounds way, way, way better than when, there was no processing, obviously, which is the point of mixing, but I really didn't use that much processing and it made that much of a difference. I mean, on the drums, I used 3 plugins and a summing. On the bass, I used 1 plugin and a tape emulation. On the vocals, I used 3 plugins plus a couple processors. It's like crazy, right? Yeah, good stuff. Right on you, eh? Killing it. Peace. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about the stuff or whatever. I'm happy to answer. All right, peace.